destined to be the wife of a preacher. Aside from being able to run a household, quote the Bible, and smile comfortingly, she couldn't do much. From what she had seen so far, she doubted her smile or her biblical quotations would be much in demand in San Francisco. It was too late to start thinking about that now. The die was cast. It was time to face Zac. But her feet wouldn't move. Lily told herself she was merely postponing the inevitable. Her father had often told her that only made things worse. It was time to face the issue squarely and be ready to deal with the outcome. But that was more easily said than done. She couldn't go back home, not even if she had the money, which she didn't. Her father would kill her. There wasn't any doubt in her mind. He'd simply wring her neck and throw her body down the mountainside. Lily nervously plucked at her veil. In her mind's eye, she saw herself, a thin woman clad in black from head to foot. She must look as if she were dressed for a funeral. Those brightly colored women inside would laugh themselves silly. With sudden decision, she untied the bonnet strings and pulled the hat and veil from her head, removed the pins that held her hair in place, and dropped them into her purse. She shook her head to loosen the hair she had so carefully hidden under her hat early that morning. A mantle of white blonde hair tumbled down her back, around her shoulders, and over her breasts. Lily became aware that the steady flow of men all around her had slowed. Looking up, she saw men staring at her from all sides. "Jesus, Joseph, and Mary," one man, unsteady on his feet, exclaimed to his companion. "It must be the angels come for me." "Ain't no angel stupid enough to set foot in San Francisco," his slightly more sober friend said. "It must be the whiskey." The first man drew closer until he could reach out and touch Lily. "She's real." "That's it," his companion said. "No more whiskey for you. From now on, we stick to opium." Petrified she would attract even more unwanted attention, Lily gave her hair a final smoothing, took a deep breath, picked up her suitcase, and stepped inside the little corner of heaven. Zac felt Dodie Mitchell's grip on his shoulder tighten. She was standing behind his chair as she often did. He flexed his muscles as a warning. He'd been a gambler too long, had played too many games with thousands of dollars at stake, had bluffed too many times when holding nothing more than 2 pair to let his own excitement betray him. He'd be damned if he'd let Dodie's do it. But he understood. For the first time in his 26 years, he held a spade flush, ace high. With no cards wild, he would take the pot no matter what they threw on the table. It wasn't the money or the game. It was the hand. And he'd drawn it. He didn't need to discard. It was perfect. Most gamblers went through their entire lives without seeing a hand like this. He glanced up at the other men at the table. They all had good hands. He could tell. Bob Wilkerson thought his demeanor was impenetrable, but his left eyebrow bunched ever so slightly. Asa White's eyes glazed over. Eric Olson tapped his boot against the table leg. Heinrich Biederbecker had no control at all. He grinned like a bear in the middle of a trout stream during a spawning run. When he had a good hand, everybody knew it. Only Chet Lee could match Zac's poker face. But then Chet always had a good hand. Zac was certain he cheated, but he'd never been able to catch him. Tonight, it didn't matter. Zac settled back and the betting began. It wasn't until the pot topped $20,000 that he became aware of a ripple in the noise that surrounded him. He ignored it. He enjoyed gambling even more than his customers did. His employees were under strict orders not to bother him unless it was a life-threatening emergency. But there was something different about this sound. In a city of more than 250,000 people, all of them seemingly addicted to gambling, even the biggest gambling saloons were always crowded and noisy. That's what was wrong. The noise was dying down. That never happened. If the mix of men, whiskey, gambling, and women could guarantee anything, it was noise. It needled at Zac's mind until he looked up. At first, he saw nothing to account for the change. The men around him were concentrating on their games, shouting their pleasure or bellowing their fury. He started